What's going on, Genius Nation? Welcome to a brand new day, a day that you've never seen before, a day that you will never see again, a brand new Sunday. As I always tell you, every day is a gift waiting for you to open it up and take advantage of it. Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Will, and as always, super excited that you are here rocking with us, whether you're here live, whether you're watching the replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscription and the notification so you know whenever we drop a brand new video. All right, guys, it's Sunday. So you guys know what we do on Sunday. What do we like to do? We like to take Sunday as our planning day. We like to sit down and we like to plan because we're coming toward the end of June. We're coming toward the end of June, getting ready to go into July. That means we have 6 more months of this year. So what I want to do, instead of talking about planning for the upcoming week, I want us to think a little bit further and even ask ourselves, what does the next 90 days look like? What does the next 180 days look like for me as an individual? What does it look like for my business? What does it look like, maybe for the family? What are some long-term plans that you have? One of the things that I love about planning, what's going on, Rashonda? One of the things I love about planning, when you can plan, planning gives you power. Yeah, planning gives you power. And when I talk about power, you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about options. And so the sooner, as I always tell you guys, my mentor, Jim Rome, he used to always say, before you start your day, plan your day. Before you start your week, plan your week. Before you start your month, plan your month. And the power in that. So let's just say I take a wide view, right? I take this macro view of my next 6 months, right? I take this macro view of the next 6 months. Let's just use as an example, we know that we're going to, within this time period, we're going to have Thanksgiving, we're going to have Christmas. So based off of your personal history, what do those 2 dates mean to you? How do you want your life, how do you want your business to operate around those times? So let's say, you know what, for Thanksgiving, I know Thanksgiving is a special time around my family. I know it gets kind of hectic. We have family that come in. We host Thanksgiving, whatever those things may be, whether it's for Christmas. Maybe you may say, hey, we host Christmas. We have people coming over. If you start thinking about that right now, right? If I'm an entrepreneur, I'm thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about, you know what, that week in November of Thanksgiving, I want to take that week off. For me personally, we begin to look at our lives, and the month of November is a crazy month for us. It was just, earlier on in my business journey, I would get so frustrated because I would try to run the business, but literally like every single day in November, something was going on. And so I was always getting thrown off track until I eventually got smart and said, you know what? I'm just going to take the month of November off. I'm just going to take it off. It's no sense of trying to fight it, right? It's no sense of trying to fight it. So then for me, that meant I went from a 12-month year to an 11-month year. Then later on, I got smarter and I said, okay, I'm going to start my year in December so I could get the full year. So, like in corporate America, in business, we have a fiscal year, and that fiscal year starts in October. Well, you can do that as well in your own life and business. You can say, you know what, our year, like if you're in school, the school year starts in August or September, right? It doesn't start in January. The school year starts in July, maybe, or in August or whatever. You can do that too. You can do that mentally. You can put your life on that type of calendar. So for me, November, my daughter's birthday, my anniversary, my sister's birthday, my brother's birthday, my brother-in-law's birthday, family friends, my goddaughter, my other goddaughter. Like, so much stuff was going on in November. Like, every time I met somebody, something significant was going on in November. And so I just made the decision that November is going to be a no work November for me. And the more I began to center around that, I could plan my year. I can plan my year a lot more effectively because I knew going into the year that, okay, in November, I'm taking off. So what needs to be done? What needs to be done by October? What needs to wait until December? So, for me, October, I do a yearly review of my year. November, I'm off. And then December, that's the planning year going into January of the new year. So for those 90 days right there, I have my review, I have my off, and then I have my execution. What are we doing? What plans do we need to put in place? And so the more time you give yourself, the more clarity you have around this, the better you can plan, the better you can prepare, the better options you're going to have. Just something as simple as if I know I'm going to go on vacation in September, October, if I know that in June, then maybe airplane tickets are cheaper. I'll never forget, I was at NASCAR. The very first time I went to NASCAR, I was just blown away. I had never been to NASCAR before, and I had the opportunity to go speak for them. And so because I was a speaker, they gave us, all these access passes to go to the pit and all this type of stuff. And here in Phoenix, Arizona, we have the Phoenix Raceway, and so they have two events here. Now here, and this is important. They have two events here a year, major events. One in March and one in November. One in March and one in November. This is the power of planning. How do I still remember that? Because NASCAR has put this on their calendar, and that initial time I went to NASCAR like 3 times, 3 years in a row, so I knew March and November was the times we were going to NASCAR. Here's my point. When we go to the Phoenix Raceway, they have this place where people come from everywhere, Southern California, California, Nevada, or all that kind of stuff to come to this race, this race. And they have where you can rent out spaces for your campers. So a lot of people drive in and they have campers. So it's humongous. It's off the chain. So they have this section where people can rent spaces. So when you get there, you already have your space. And I'll never forget this. I was talking to this gentleman, huge NASCAR fan, and I was just talking to him about this experience, about him and his family coming down. And he says, yep, every March and every November, we know we're going to be at this race. Every March and every November. So what we've done is we went on and rented out this one space for the next 10 years. We just rented this space out, this parking space, for the next 10 years. And as I was talking to him, I said, 10 years? And I said, how do you know that you're going to be here in 10 years? He said, oh, this is what we do. Every March and every November, this is what we do. This has been a family tradition, so this is what we do. So we started talking more, and he shared with me, he said, because I locked it in for 10 years, they were able to give him a deal, and so he even saved money because he was clear about what he was going to be doing every March and every November. See, I said planning gives you power, and power gives you options. Planning gives you power, and power gives you options. And so because he knew, hey, this is what he was going to be doing, I remember talking to another friend of mine who vacationed every year in Hawaii. He vacationed every year in Hawaii, and I said, man, why do you go to Hawaii every year? He's like, I can go anywhere. We just love Hawaii. We love Hawaii. Now, because he knew he loved Hawaii, because he knew that this is where he was going to be coming for a vacation, it allowed him to make better decisions. So what was one of the decisions that he made? He ended up purchasing a house in Hawaii because he looked at it. He says, we're coming here every year anyway. And every year we got to book a hotel. We got to do this, do that, do this. We're coming here anyway. Let's just go ahead and let's buy some property. So now he bought a house over in Hawaii, and they would, throughout the year when they're not there, they would rent it out, or when his family, his daughter, and her husband and family wanted to go on vacation, or he had other friends who wanted to go on vacation in Hawaii, he could offer them the house to stay at. And so because he was crystal clear on what he wanted to do, he could plan more efficiently because he knew every year we're going to go to Hawaii. Every year we're going to go to Hawaii. So just by you getting crystal clear on some of these major reoccurring things, man, our anniversary, my birthday, kid's birthday, I have, if I showed you, like, I've had it planned out, I knew, years ago that in 2028, my son was going to graduate from high school. I knew that. I was thinking about that 15 years ago. So I knew in 2028, boom. Give you another example. The Olympics are happening in Los Angeles in 2028. I know that already. And so I've already been on the website to buy tickets because I already know that's an event that I want to be a part of. I'm going to go to California. I want to be a part of the Olympics in 2028. So once again, the more you begin, like we usually talk about planning for the week, but the more you can begin to plan for your month, plan for your quarter, plan for your year, plan as much as possible for your decade. Do you have some significant birthdays coming up? Are you turning 30? Are you turning 40? Are you turning 50, 60, 65, 70? Right? What do you want that to look like? Because the more time you give yourself, right? What do you want your 60th birthday to look like? If you're 40, you got 20 years to plan that. You got 20 years to put some ideas into place. And so that's the power of planning. It gives you all these options, and then it allows you to prepare a lot better because you have more time. So that's what I have for you today. As I always tell you, go out there and be your brilliant, amazing, genius self. Go out there and make someone else smile as you make yourself smile. Go out there and dominate today, whatever you got going on today, whether it's a rest day, whether it's a work day. Take full advantage of it. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the Daily Genius.